Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Emmanuel, and in this video we'll be talking about styling lists in CSS. Let's see how a default list looks like. This is a default list with 4 list items with some text, literally some text in it. And yeah, let's just jump into it and see what happens. List style type will be the first property that I'm going to show you. And it has a few values. Actually, it has a lot of values. By default, we have a disk, and let's check that out if I'm correct or not. Yes, by default we have the styling of disk because that's kind of an international sign for lists. But we also have, as we saw in the drop-down list, a lot of other ones. We can have Armenian, and because I did manage to write it, which will give us some Armenian characters, which I do not know how to read because I'm not Armenian. But it's good to know they have them there. But besides all these many functions, values, we will be focusing on the ones that you might use. And the one that you will probably use a lot is none. Okay? So besides disk, which we just saw, and circle, which is just a simple circle, none will be the one that you will be using. And the reason for that is that ULLIs, or I'm sorry, unordered list items, are commonly used as being really great menu systems. So just imagine if we had anchor tags on each of them, made them smaller, and then stylized them, then we quickly had a really nice top menu. So that's how you do menus in CSS. We don't have any special tag for that. Well, we kind of do, but we'll check that in, we'll see that in the HTML5 course when we make it. So I'm going to delete this because we don't need it, and I'm going to put a nice circle in there. So we have some circles. So first property done. The second property is going to be list style position, and this has a few values inside and outside, and that's about it. Not that interesting, is it? Inside will kind of indent your text. Outside will not indent your text. Honestly, I don't know what you do with it. I never use it, so I will put it under the classification of not so important, but I will leave it right here. And I will leave the value to, what is it, outside inherit, or none. Then the other one, which this one is interesting, list style image, and the property is going to be URL. The cool thing about this is that you can really quickly make a PNG of some sorts that you can afterwards add as a bullet point. So if you want to make a Mickey Mouse head, then you would just make a PNG and then save it, and then define the relative path here, which would look maybe something like images Mickey head.png. So since we don't have Mickey's head, I will put this value at none. And then we have another value that I saw in the drop-down menu, and that is list style position, which, oh, I'm sorry, this one we checked out. I'm really sorry. The one I wanted to show you is the shorthand for this, and that is list style, and you define it as the type first, then the position, then the image. So if we want, we can say circle, inherit, and none. So this is shorthand for this long thing. The way I use list style mostly is just like this. I would just write list style and then none, because this also works. So I think the first one is the only mandatory one, since these other ones are optional. I never used list style positioning. Never use list style image, although it's interesting, but definitely I use this list style none a lot when I need to make menus. So that was it. This was, I told you, a short lesson, and I will see you in the next one where we will be covering tables.